Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between Nerchio versus Beasty here on Shakura's Plateau. We'll see how this Zerg versus Terran matchup holds up, and we'll see what goes down. And in this Terran versus Zerg on Shakura's Plateau, we see Nerchio on the top left-hand side of the map as the pink Zerg. Meanwhile, Beasty on the top right-hand side of the map as the yellow Terran. Nerchio being well-mannered, good luck, have fun. Beasty also responding with the good luck, have fun, as we'll see what exactly is going to go down between these two players this time around. Now, Nerchio in game 1 was able to set up a very strong economic lead and then just simply ride that to victory. He wasn't engaging in smart battles, I would say, as he was constantly losing more than his opponent. But the problem was that, or what was benefiting Nerchio, was that Nerchio was running off of so many bases that he could do it and still have a significantly larger army. Beasty most likely will be setting up a supply depot down over here, followed by a barracks. Meanwhile, we'll see if Nerchio tries to go for an early hatchery or not. He is currently at 13/18. We may see a 15 hatchery, or we may see a spawning pool as well, as we now also see a drone finally making its way down. It looks like it will be doing a little bit of scouting, and then a second drone may come in order to set up that hatchery. So yes, it is going to be an early hatchery. And oh, what is this? Beasty setting up a barracks down over here, and this is going to force Nerchio to try to hunt and find it. And that's always very, very annoying as a Zerg player, when you know that your opponent has to have a barracks somewhere, but you don't know where it is. And now an SCV doing a bit of scouting as well. The drone most likely knows that there is something over here, gonna head his way up the ramp, take a look around, and now desperately looking for that barracks, needs to find it, but he will not, as the barracks is hidden off over here. And we may even get a command center up in just a moment. Upgrading to an orbital command, is it gonna come in? Yes. Beasty pretty much telling Nerchio, yeah, I do have a barracks in play, can you find it now? SCV down over here, still hiding in the brush. Perhaps we will get a command center being built over here in just a moment, or it can be built right here and then hidden. And if it is built right there and hidden, it can then lift off and land there without being spotted. So this is going to be a very interesting strategy, as a command center may be coming in. SCV now coming up the ramp. There's the command center there, as a drone and an SCV battling it out in the middle of the field, as we now see the hatchery about to be completed, more than 90%, and also a spawning pool ready. So we should be getting double queens followed by 4 zerglings, if my spider sense is accurate. No, going in for a spine crawler, so wanting to get a little bit more base defense this time around. I'm not quite sure where his opponent was. He needs to try to find whether or not there is a proxy barracks, but he is not going to take any chances, deciding to build a spine crawler right at his natural, to make sure that if there are marines, that they're not going to be able to charge up all too easily. Spine crawlers with a base 2 armor, reducing the damage from a marine from 6 down to 4. Zerglings now out in midfield. Extractor coming up just a little bit late. But yeah, Extractor coming up just a little bit late, as those Zerglings now switch their way over as well. We can see that there is a queen coming off here and here. Both of them are most likely going to spawn larva, and now the Zerg engine is going to start running. 5, 6 Zerglings trying to test the front door, sees that there's 3 barracks and a whole bunch of Marines over here, taking down the SCV. Nicely done, but at the cost of a couple of Zerglings. But those Zerglings would not be able to do very much anyways, forcing another SCV to come off the mineral line. And now we see a third base being established by Beasty So Beasty wanting to make sure that he does not fall behind on bases, gets another command center, will be able to upgrade that to an orbital command. And then we'll see if he tries to land it off here, or if he tries to just call in mules and have higher SCV production. Third hatchery coming in from Nerchio well before the 8-minute mark. So Nerchio doing a triple base well before the 8-minute, and this is going to turn into a very heavy macro game, as there's not very much inside these bases so far. 30 drones, 22 SCVs. Upgrading to an orbital command already underway, and you can see lifting off and landing that barracks over here. Beasty definitely needs to train up more SCVs though. His SCV count is rather low, and now he should be able to train up off of 3 command centers and orbital commands, and he should be able to more than catch up in this economic race with the help of the additional mule. SCV is looking to scour across the map, trying to figure out what is going on. The SCV will come up this ramp in just a moment and spot the third base of Nerchio. So the Marines are now going to be coming back over here. It looks like five Marines more than enough, and these SCVs, and Marines are going to be able to just take down these Zerglings here in just a moment. A bunker now trying to be established, as the Zerglings are not going to really be able to do all too much there. And now in comes a lot of Zerglings. The Zerglings are going to be able to perhaps swarm this position. Bunkers take a little bit of time, as the Marines trying to be further back. The Zerglings perhaps going to be swarming here in just a moment. Are the Marines going to be able to jump inside? In comes a surround. The Marines are all backed in, and I do believe that even though it is a very nice position, that this last Marine will get taken down. Down it goes, and now this bunker most likely will just be salvaged. Is it going to hit V? Yep. Just going to hit V, salvage that bunker, and get 75 minerals back. So just a little bit late. If he had more Marines in that group, perhaps he could have fended it off long enough to get units inside that bunker. But with the sheer number of Zerglings there, the Zerglings should have been able to take down that bunker with little to no issue. We are currently teching the Tier 2, so Tier 2 underway. Nerchio is going to be able to get Infestors and Mutalisks. We'll see what he tries to go for. Game 1 on Metalopolis was definitely Infestors, so we'll see if he tries to go for Mutalisks, as this map is a little bit larger, and Mutalisk harassment on this map is very effective, as since there's so many ledges, Marines have a difficult time trying to get into their targets and trying to shoot down those Mutalisks, and it will also at least force Beasty Cutie to try to get a couple missile turrets or even go into an armory for Thors. Now, we are going into a reactor. It looks like the starport is going to add on in just a moment and start double training medevacs or perhaps even Vikings, as the overlords now get in position. Harvester count 60 drones, 47 SCVs. Nerchio just taking a very, very dominant lead right now, as the drones just mining away, and Nerchio gonna get a very strong economy and be able to ride this wave and ride this advantage into the mid game. And as we are currently getting 3 mules in play down over here, so Beasty Cutie is trying to even things up. You can see that he is mining away with a lot of those mules, about even in economic terms right now, even though he is behind by 11. Excuse me, he is currently behind by 11 or 10 harvesters. Overseer now doing a flyby, not going to have enough energy for Contaminate. Contaminate takes, I believe, 125 energy now. Marine's going to be able to shoot this down, though. It looks like, yes, it will get shot down. There it goes, exploding in midair, as more SCVs still could be trained. A 20 worker advantage now, as a medevac looking to perhaps do a drop and get some damage. There is not much in terms of the army. Take a look at the unit tab. 2 medevacs, 30 Marines, 1 Marauder. I'm not quite sure what the effectiveness of this one particular medevac will be. It will have to drop along all the Marines along the top side, snipe down the Spore Crawler first before anything really happens, because if he doesn't snipe down the Spore Crawler, that is going to be very bad news, as the Marines now coming in and going to shoot down 1 Overlord. It looks like the Spine Crawler. Oh, in comes a little bit more damage, and now where are we going? The Queen now taking a lot of damage as well. Marines are upgraded 1-1, as the Zerglings, and both sides just trying to push around. The Zerglings are upgraded 0-1, will be upgraded 1-1 in just a moment, as now the Glio reconstitution has just been completed, and I believe this medevac may be coming in for another drop, as a drop now coming in also at the 4th base. Down over here, 1 Overlord's going to get taken down, another Overlord's going to get taken down. The Marines fighting off the Zerglings one at a time, getting some distance, but in come some Roaches now, and Roaches are going to be a very, very bad thing to deal with, as Nerchio now tries to pick up all of his units and now dropping in on the top side as well. So Beasty Cutie being almost everywhere at once with these Marines, getting in a lot of damage, and now trying to make sure that there is very, very minimal surface area for the Zerglings to even deal any damage. 1 has been taken down, but it looks like the Marines are going to be coming in as well. Zerglings and Marines, both sides trying to fight it out, as the medevac is finally destroyed. Perhaps take down the Queen. The Queen has been destroyed, and now 3 drones, or 3 Marines, just taking on drone after drone, getting a lot of worker kills now. 68 compared to 62. 65 now, as the Marines are currently going unchallenged, and another drop lying and ready to go here. There are 5 Marines in this group. A Spine Crawler now being added. It looks like the Marines are going to go after the Roaches, and more drones are getting destroyed. The Roaches should have no problem finishing off the Marines there as another medevac picks up its units and runs away. So Beasty Cutie, a very, very smart drop, just dropping in multiple locations at once. You can see that there are currently 4 mules just mining away back over here, as Beasty Cutie is now running off of 3 bases compared to his opponent's 5. This base has been established. This base is fairly well saturated. This base not very much, but we are moving into lair tech now. So lair tech, meta bunkers, siege tanks, no weapons upgrade. It looks like it will be completed in just a moment. Marines are upgraded 2-2, and now we are starting the 3-2 upgrades on those Marines. 3-2 upgrades, meaning that those Marines are going to be able to deal so much damage against Zerglings, drones, and Mutalisks, essentially dealing 50% more damage than before if you do not account for armor. Zerglings, infestors in the center portion of the map. Roaches and Zerglings still lying in wait. Nerchio looking to see how he can bust through this, as there are now 2 medevacs making their way off to the north. It looks like there is some base defense over here. A second spine crawler now being added, and this is not going to be good. It needs to land in the fog of war here and then stim over and try to engage. 1 spine crawler, 2 spine crawlers, 3 spine crawlers in this group, and it looks like it is going to be exactly that. The Marines are now just getting unloaded, and here you go, stimming straight in. 1 spine crawler going to get taken down, and now going after roaches. Another roach is going to get taken down over here. Another roach now down, and Nerchio going to lose some of his units as the Marines try to stutter step their way out. Stutter stepping back, pedaling into the range of a spine crawler, and the spine crawler gets in 1 kill, and that is it. Nerchio once again has, I believe, has a significant or a slight food advantage right now. Nothing really to write home about, but we'll see how all of these players, or how this game will resolve. It looks like Beasty Cutie has more minerals and gas bank, as the Marines once again pushing in, getting some easy damage onto roaches. Roaches now falling. It doesn't look like any reinforcements are coming in on the minimap. They are finally coming in, but it is from very, very, very far south. Zerglings finally get there, and the Marines could jump inside the medevacs anytime now. Is it going to happen? It looks like no. Nerchio able to get off more Marine kills than I would have liked to see from Beasty Cutie, but Beasty Cutie now pulling back again. Siege tanks, Marines, planetary fortress, going to clean up this one poor Zergling here. Medevacs deciding to back off. Very strong creep highway across the center. Harvester count 81, 82 compared to 75. But additional bases for Beasty Cutie and the additional use of these mules should really help him out in the long run. Perhaps start mule mining this location, as those workers are temporary anyways. Marines now fighting back against the swarm at the 12 or 6 o'clock location here, as Nerchio wanted to try to grab this expansion. It doesn't look like it will be successful, doesn't look like it will be successful. It's not going to have that many drones mining on it for a little bit of time. And now Beasty Cutie does have a planetary fortress here and here as well. He just needs to really start efficiently mining. Otherwise, he's going to have a lot of problems. Infestors, along with the help of some roaches, are going to go ahead and take down these rocks here. Perhaps doing a push from the north side in order to take down the rocks. The roaches are not upgraded at all. No weapons upgrade. 0-2 right now. Zerg flyer carapace upgrade as well, in addition to the attack upgrade on those Mutalisks. This is going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds, as we're going into auto-sec tracking and Terran building armor. 2 upgrades that we rarely ever see, but very effective at dealing against Zerg, as Zerg units generally have a lot of units that attack quickly, but in rather low numbers. Auto-sec tracking 80 seconds, Terran building armor 140 seconds total, level 3 weapons upgrade. So there are 3 engineering bays somewhere on the field. So 3 engineering bays in order to get all of these upgrades through. Where are the engineering bays? Oh, there they are. 1, 2, and then 1 more for the... Nope, that is not a... Yeah, that's vehicle. For some reason, I thought it was infantry for a second. So yeah, 2 engineering bays and also an armory upgrading like mad. Now, corruptors are in the air. There is 209 food over 200. Zerg using that very, very nice ability to macro up and clearing up, making room in the food count. 15 Broodlords in the air, and we still have a bunch of minerals in the bank. We should perhaps be getting up another hatchery here to get more gas. We'll see how this is all going to work out. There are Broodlords and Corruptors, 7 Corruptors, and a whole bunch of Broodlords. How is this all going to just unravel and unfold as a Marauder quickly gets taken down over here? The Corruptors looking to engage, want to stay outside of the range of all of this sensor tower, and now finally pushing in. This is going to be very difficult to stop as the Marines are going to start to get choked up, but there is mass ghosts. Mass ghosts. What, 18 ghosts? We should be getting a lot of snipe in just a moment. There's one round of snipe, and it looks like another round of snipe. EMP shockwave, but the ghost getting completely destroyed by friendly fire. And those broodlings, mass ghost, mass snipe, fungal growth coming in. Another fungal growth could be coming in as well. What is going to be happening? A lot of those ghosts now getting destroyed. Down goes that center building as the Broodlords continuing their reign and able to get so much damage, and we need to see a fungal growth come off sometime soon. So much splash damage, all of those ghosts taking so much damage here, and now finally being forced to retreat as Beasty Cutie's line has been pushed back, foregoing some territory here just a little while longer as the siege tanks look to deal a bit of damage and soften up this army. Broodlings, however, got too much to say about that, will quickly take down the rest of these buildings, and I believe Beasty Cutie will be forced to say GG in just a moment, as we are now up to 20 Broodlords. Massive ghosts trying to use massive snipe in order to finish off all of these spine crawlers. It is not looking good. The sheer numbers is just far too much. There are a couple overseers in this group as well. It looks like the Vikings are now going to be able to focus down a couple of those units, but not really be able to slow down the swarm. And that one Viking doesn't have a kill just quite yet. Ghost looking to snipe down and get even more kills onto those Broodlords. Large number of ghosts now trying to engage, and it looks like it could just turn around and destroy it. But that is not going to be the case. The Broodlords still raining in from the heavens, raining down a lot of broodlings. And even though Beasty Cutie has a whole bunch of barracks, he is not going to be able to fend off this attack. Roaches now coming in, broodlings and Broodlords in the air. Ghosts now continuing to snipe down the rest of this army here. It looks like this one infestor will get taken down. Down it goes as the Zerglings now look to put pressure onto the 4th or 3rd base over here. The Planetary Fortress getting off some nice easy shots. There's a Planetary Fortress here as well, unable to just freely run in and get that damage, but Beasty Cutie already at half food over his opponent. We'll see how this all unfolds and how all of this unravels. I believe Nerchio, he just needs to figure out how to engage, and then he should be fine. And now in comes the Zerglings. Zerglings tearing through all of those ghosts, and now medevacs in the air as well. The medevacs healing up those ghosts, but they are now currently out of energy. So 4 ghosts is all that is what stands in between this army, as the Corruptors now trying to finally back off. Planetary Fortress here, Planetary Fortress here. Beasty Cutie in a very nice position. We'll see how this all works out for him, as we are now going to perhaps rinse and repeat once more. Production tab shows more Overseers, more Queens, more Zerglings, as the Corruptors are now finally backing off here. It looks as though this orbital command may get destroyed. No, gonna lift off in time. The Corruptors don't feel too concerned about engaging it, as Nerchio really wants those Broodlords more than anything else. Orbital command now landing. This is an east versus west, but definite benefit for Nerchio, as he is holding both the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock positions. A hatchery on every base on the left side, including the middle, as we now see Broodlords once again making their way out across the map, and it looks like Ghost with mass snipe is going to be the counter. Broodlords have to be very careful. Those Zerglings now swarming in right behind, looking to deal some damage, and there you go. Vikings now trying to engage as well. There are some Overseers in this group. One Overseer has been destroyed. It looks as though the Broodlords still raining down a lot of damage onto this group here, as the Vikings now try to finish off the Corruptors, but there is simply too many Corruptors. Perhaps if he was able to get off some infested Terran, and there is the game. Beasty Cutie losing game 2 in this series. Stay tuned for game 3.